And to move on from the Raiders, let's go ahead and talk about the Chargers. They picked up Justin Herbert and Kenneth Murray in the first round. Not bad pickups. They have a bit of a quarterback battle this offseason, with Tyrod Taylor being the assumed starter for now until Justin Herbert beats him out for the starting job. They had a lot of struggles with the offensive line last season, which could be attributed to why Phillip Rivers had 20 interceptions, which is
and why he was so angry all the time. Like,
yeah,
the man's so angry.
he was very upset. I would imagine he just had a lot of struggles, especially with some of the injuries on that line, and it just was a mix-up all season. So letting Okong leave, or they didn't let him leave. They traded him, excuse me. They traded him for Try Turner. I think that was a smart move considering how they got Brian Bulaga to replace Okong, and they could now have a better offensive line than they did last season, but they still have some holes. I don't think the center position is necessarily fixed with Pouncey, or they still have a hole at the other tackle spot. And the reason why I feel like the Chargers will not get back to 12-4 like they were just 2 seasons ago is mainly because they only really had 2 draft picks that I feel like are going to make a big impact, and that's Justin Herbert and Kenneth Murray. And also the fact that, they have an underrated defense, but until the offense is figured out, I don't feel like 12-4 is realistic. I feel like 9-7 is a really good spot for them, and I feel like they actually will compete. It'll really come down to the Broncos and Chargers for that 5th or 6th spot. And basically, my thought process is, with Nick Vigil being the strong side linebacker, Kenneth Murray has to start right away. He's definitely good enough to play, and he's definitely someone that can go sideline to sideline, but he's gonna have to learn a lot real fast.
Yep. From the Chargers standpoint, at least, and I was saying this during the draft even. I really think Justin Herbert, in my opinion, I really think he has a lot of raw talent and that he could be good. He just really needs to be coached on like what he needs to do, because I've watched some film on him, and I would see him like loft balls into the air that didn't necessarily need to go that way. Yeah, he ended up completing them and things like that. But in the NFL, when you start just like chucking balls up to like just floating them down the field, you end up having bad things happen pretty quick.
Yeah. And I was thinking of Derwin James and Casey Hayward. They experienced a lot of different injuries on defense, and I feel like that kind of just stunted this team's ability to do anything last season. So it could be that 8-8 is their worst case scenario for me, just because I feel like Phillip Rivers didn't have the offensive line in front of him to really get anything going, and also the defense was hurt so bad. That's why 5-11 happened, and next season they're gonna have all their players healthy, and they're gonna have a rookie quarterback probably playing most of the season. And I just don't know how to feel about Justin Herbert. I personally did not like Justin Herbert. I didn't like his film as much as I did like Joe Burrow or
Obviously not Joe Burrow.
Yeah, I just
But, yeah, I get you.
I don't know how much I can believe in Justin Herbert. I feel like in the end, I feel like they'll end up having like a losing record by the time he gets in there. We'll just say they're like 2-5 or 2-4, maybe like worst case scenario, they're like 3-8, like the Broncos were last season before they put in Drew Lock, and then they start Justin Herbert, and then he starts winning you games. But you just can't get past the fact that the Chargers lost 9 games by less than a touchdown, which would then make you think, well, this team's got a lot of potential to really do good next season. But with a rookie quarterback that I don't like, it just
Well, you see with that record last year, and especially you saying they only lost, what was that, 9 games?
Yeah, they lost
Yeah,
9.
yeah, they lost 9 by less than a touchdown, which kind of tells you that their defense was performing like relatively well.
Even with injuries.
Yeah, even with injuries, and then you then have to turn towards our offense and be like, look, what was going on? Because our defense was holding them, and we were scoring, but we couldn't like in that clutch situation go down and score or or just plain old just go and score.
And it's not like they won against worser teams. They beat the Packers.
Yep.
And they were in other games too, like I said before. So they could easily be way better than 8-8, which I predict them going, or 9-7, but it's just a matter of how much Justin Herbert and Kenneth Murray, I feel like, develop.
Mhm.
And how well the lineman replacements, them shuffling around some of the linemen, works out. Because this defense is definitely good enough, above average, better than above average, especially with all the players coming back healthy.
Yep.
It's just a matter of if this offense can get going and whether or not Justin Herbert is the guy there.
I really one thing real quick that I'm really excited about. So Nick Vigil, when he was in Cincinnati, I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't think they did the right thing with him. Like played him how he like really needed to be played. But I think him going out to play for the Chargers, I really think that he has potential to just be really good. I think he has potential to go out there and just start like lighting things up because you can see like when you watch any tape from him from Cincinnati, there's a lot of things he's not great at. But I think if being in the right system and being coached up, he can improve on those things to make him where he's decent at them. And the things he is really good at, just skyrocket him for it.
Yeah, I feel like he's going to really benefit from everyone else being really good around him.
Yep.
And I feel like Kenneth Murray, because he plays probably best at weak side and Vigil plays best at strong side, he's going to be in the best position for him to succeed being a run stopper. Very sound tackler. As long as it's not Lamar Jackson doing pirouettes on him. But
yeah, we all hate to see that.
We all hate to see that. But Vigil's, take it from Bengals fans, he was underrated, and he wasn't going to ever be a star, but he's great starting talent for you.
Yeah.
And considering how everyone else on your team is just on the defensive side is got star talent on that side,
yep.
It'll end up working out for you guys.
Yeah,
so
I really think Nick Vigil just being in the right situation could really help his career.
Yeah, and so that's why I give them at least a 8-8 or a 9-7.